took a solo trip to Vienna, Austria, and before flying back home, I had one full day to explore the city. Coming from a place like Los Angeles where everything feels fast-paced and constantly moving, Vienna felt different, slower, more intentional. So instead of trying to cram in a perfect itinerary, I spent the day wandering through the city, taking in the architecture, getting lost a few times,
I think I'm on the right spot.
and just being present in a completely different part of the world.
What is going on, you guys? It is super windy today. I am here at Belvedere Palace and this place is so massive. You feel tiny just walking right through it. The architecture here is also so impressive, from the statues to the fountains, even to the palace itself. The flowers aren't in bloom yet, but I could only imagine how much more awesome this place would be if the flowers were out. I arrived here in Vienna last night after spending the last few days in Salzburg. I've also made a video about that. I'll link that down in the description below if you're interested. But first impressions of the place, it definitely looks a lot busier, but it doesn't feel that way. And what I mean by that is, when I was walking through Belvedere Palace, people were just sitting, hanging around, catching a vibe, and then just visiting some of the cafes. People are, slowing down and just being present and having conversations, which is a completely different, vibe from what we have in LA, where we just grab our coffee and then go and then check things off of our to-do list. So really cool first impressions. Not only that, but there's definitely more of a urban vibe here compared to Salzburg, which was more alpine and intimate.
As I've started traveling more, I've learned to appreciate not just the sights, but the stories behind the places I visit. One of the first places I stopped at was Karlskirche, also known as St. Charles Church. It was built in the early 1700s after a massive plague outbreak hit Vienna. Emperor Charles VI basically made a vow to build the church if the city was delivered from it, and it was dedicated to St. Charles Borromeo, who was known for helping plague victims during an epidemic years before.
For a Sunday, it is very lively out here.
Later on, I made my way to St. Stephen's Cathedral, probably one of the most recognizable spots in the city. Parts of it date back almost 900 years, and even after wars, fires, and centuries of change, it's still standing right in the middle of Vienna today.
I'm here at Stephansplatz and I'm honestly amazed by this incredible area. There's just so much amazing architecture that catches your eye as you walk here. And in the center of it all is just this impressive cathedral. I really love the attention to the detail here, from the zigzag pattern created by the tiles on the roof to the intricate stonework on the Gothic spires. And then just on top of all of that, it's a Sunday and it's surprisingly busy. And I love that because it just makes this area feel so much more alive. I'm actually really excited about this. I got the chicken schnitzel. I just love the breading. It's not too thick. And then the meat is just so tender, melts in your mouth. All right, so I just finished my meal. I had chicken schnitzel. Now, traditionally, it's made with veal, but I don't know if I could bring myself to be eating that all just yet. And funny enough, back home in the US, we have this restaurant called Wiener Schnitzel. So I was always under the impression that it was this sausage. But after having the meal a couple of times and being here, I've learned that it's basically like this thinly breaded cutlet. I gotta keep walking. I think I'm on the right spot. Anyways, gonna take some time to explore some more and see what else this amazing city has to offer.
I think one of my favorite parts about traveling now is not just seeing beautiful places, but realizing how much bigger the world is than your own routine, stress, or whatever's been taking up space in your mind back home.
I'm here at Burggarten, which is this public park out in Vienna, and I just love how clean and well-maintained everything is. You have beautiful architecture just surrounding you, and then just so many people just laying in the grass, hanging around and catching a vibe. I guess that's one of the other cool things about travel, is being able to see how other people live their everyday lives.
And as my time in Vienna started coming to a close, I found myself slowing down more, wandering without much of a plan, sitting in the moment a little longer, appreciating the slower pace of life here. And honestly, just feeling grateful I even got to experience any of this in the first place. This trip might have been coming to an end, but I definitely felt like I was leaving with a different perspective than the one I came in with.
I made it back to Belvedere Palace, and I'm likely gonna, end my day here. I'm gonna finish where I started. I'm gonna hang out here until the sun sets and then probably head back to the hotel. But holy cow, it's crazy how fast this past week and a half has gone. I started off in Slovenia and I'm ending here in Vienna. Forever grateful for these experiences that I get, and I'm honestly really looking forward to what the next experience has in store. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.